here from 21 Wise. Today I'd like to speak about the power of solitude and why we might be missing out on the power of solitude, or we're not getting the proper solitude moments that we need as an individual. Let it be known that there's a difference between isolation and solitude. Isolation is more so avoidance of the outside forces. So that's like, I don't want to go out to do this one thing because it just stirs something in me. I just don't want to. I'm avoiding it, right? Where solitude is just like your inside just screaming towards you, like, we need to hash this out now. And it's taking those moments by yourself. And why do I think that solitude is a missing art in our arsenal of finding our true selves? Is we live lives that is so automated to a sense and to a T where you don't even have time to think for yourself in such matters, right? A good example would be someone who works a 9 to 5, then goes home to a family, to another life source, right? And then whatever conversations it is, it's not an earning of individuality, you know? So we get lost sometimes of who we are when we get caught up in this automated way of living, right? It's okay to want to be by yourself. Sometimes you need it to rebalance who you are, your thought process, what your purpose is, and what you're even doing in the current moment, especially if it's feeling uneasy, you know? Solitude has helped me a lot in my growth of discovering who I am. Sure, people are like, well, it's easy for you because you don't have kids, you don't have this and that. That would pretty much put you in another person's perspective at all times, right? But I do have relationships I maintain and keep. I do maintain a huge relationship with myself. I have a relationship with other life forms, with animals, respect for like trees, nature, and all that other shit. But I didn't get that way with just fucking doing it. It had to come within solitude and homework within myself and homework within those other elements that are a part of my life. So why is it so important to have solitude while you're in these relationships? Let's say you are said person who goes home after a long day of work where you might be doing a mindless task, the same thing over and over and over, like factory work or whatever. Not saying anything to discredit you, but your mind is on a path for survival, right? So to get through this day, to go home to that nice feeling, you're just going to have to put yourself in this robotic mindset. If you're able to disconnect from that mindless, like your body's already doing it, it's done that thousands of times, it'll do that automatically. You can sometimes separate that mind from that task, and you can use that as solitude in that moment, right? It's you inward. Like, you don't need to be by yourself. I might have said that earlier in this video, but you don't really have to be by yourself. You just have to inward think by yourself, and that in itself is solitude. Isolation is you kind of avoid physical realm. But actually, I'm going to carry back there because I'm such an oxymoron. Your best solitude is by yourself. Like, go walk to a park by yourself. Go to a body of water by yourself. You choose to do that by yourself, and you're going to have such great power in discovering why you're doing this and why you're earning, or what are your answers, how you feel about that water, how you feel about so-and-so, how you feel about that situation in the past, how do you feel about it now, how do you feel, you know, you're just going through all these emotions of feeling, and you're trying to make sense of it, and you don't have anyone persuading you, like, oh, you feel that way because of that, you're doing that because of this. Like, you don't, solitude is for you, all right? Please, it's very important to take, I'd say unlimited time, but you need, I don't want to put a word because everyone's different, or a time, but at least put an hour of thought towards yourself a day. I mean, that's not hard. Like, you're in your brain all the time. Just take the time, like, doing something mindless or on your drive. Disconnect a little bit. Like, how am I doing today? How how was I doing 2 years ago from this moment? Where will I be in 5 years from now? What am I going to be doing? And do it from an authentic position and not into a superficial way. Like, I need to do this so I can have a Lamborghini. Dig deep why you want a Lamborghini. You know? Shit like that. Your answers will come within your solitude. So just remember, solitude is groundwork from discovering yourself. To discover yourself. I just beat the horse multiple times, dead and alive and dead again. So I will say it again, solitude. All right, love you guys. See you later. Bye bye.